What's up, everyone? This is the weekly training roundup for the week of December 27th, 2021. First of all, thank you for coming and watching. Let's get into it. This week, I'm slightly reorganizing the program, calibrating it to be a bit more sustainable based on how I felt at the end of week 1 and 2. So today is Monday, December 27th, my chest day. I started off with 2 sets of 10 to 20 push-ups on parallettes. First set was kind of a faster tempo of push-ups. Second set, I really took them a lot slower, paused at the top, paused at the bottom, really focused on the shoulder position, kind of treating it as a warm-up for the planche variations that were to follow. Next up, planche variations. I performed 2 sets of the advanced tuck and 1 set of an aggressive lean with the feet on the floor. In the first set of the advanced tuck, I kind of noticed some slight elbow bending, so I took off the hoodie and the shirt just to really monitor my technique more closely. On the third set, I just performed a lean, really trying to focus on the elbows and the shoulders. Hip bent a little bit, but I was still really just focusing on leaning as far forward as I could. After that, I performed 3 sets of 4 repetitions on the ring dip to ring turnout support. Just 4 repetitions here. Even though I could have done sets of 5, I wanted this to be a little bit submaximal, so that way I would feel a little bit fresher for the rest of the workout. Since I only did sets of 4 here, I was really focusing on that ring turned out support position at the top of each rep, straightening the arms forward, trying to get those palms forward. I can definitely do a lot more than 4 ring dips if I keep the rings turned in. I could probably do anywhere between 10 and 20, maybe closer to 10, the more strict that they are and the more that I'm really straightening the elbows and getting the hands to the hips at each rep. I notice when people do really high rep dip sets, they tend to not finish at the shoulders. So they might lock out the elbows but not finish at the shoulders. Here, really just trying to do fewer reps of the dips, but focus on refining that rings turned out support position at the top of each rep. After that, I just performed 2 sets of rings turned out push-ups today. I only performed 2 sets of this exercise because I had already performed 2 sets of the push-ups on parallettes and 3 sets of the planche practice, 3 sets of the ring dip to ring turnout support. I don't really count the planche practice as chest volume. It's really just its own exercise category. But what I would say is that I had already done 2 sets of the push-ups on parallettes, 3 sets of the rings turned out dip. So after adding in those 2 sets of rings turned out push-ups, that brings my daily total up to 7 sets of chest right there, which is pretty good. Definitely enough for 1 workout at least, since I do about 3 sets of chest on my Wednesday workout and at least 6 sets of chest on my Friday chest workout. That brings my weekly total of chest sets up to about 16 sets a week. So even though the 7 sets of chest today on Monday doesn't seem like a lot, the weekly total is definitely within that minimum effective volume, maximum recoverable volume bandwidth. Moving on, I just performed 3 sets of bodyweight chin-ups. I think I did 3 sets of 10 here. These felt pretty decent, mostly in there just to give me a good bump of back volume there. Also warm up the back for the front lever practice and a little bit of bicep volume as well. Moving on, I performed a bit of front lever practice. My first set here was just a straddle front lever. I tried to raise in the straddle position, but it resulted in a significant hip hike, so I kind of bailed on it. I pulled all the way to the top of the upside down deadlift position, took in a breath, and then I lowered into a bit of a better straddle front lever. So that was all right. I was pretty happy with that overall. Looking at the videos today, I would definitely admit that my hips were slightly bent during this exercise. My second set of front lever practice today was also a straddle front lever, but instead of pointing the toes, I attempted to keep the ankles dorsiflexed instead of plantar flexed. In the first set, the toes were pointed. Second set, I attempted to pull the toes towards the face because I've noticed that some individuals can perform front lever variations with that ankle position. It felt pretty awkward, but it might just be because I'm not used to the position. If any of you guys are more familiar with the proper way to do it, let me know if there is a difference in muscle activation with a plantar flexed or dorsiflexed ankle in the front lever variations. Third set of front lever practice, it was just an advanced tuck. Kept it pretty mild, really focusing on retracting the shoulders and keeping them depressed, really dialing in that technique, consciously keep the arms straight. It's hard to focus on a lot of those technique details when you're performing a variation that just feels like it's closer to your limit strength, especially if you don't have somebody else coaching you or giving you advice. I definitely notice them watching the videos after the exercise is performed, but during it, it can be a bit hard to keep that technique fully accurate and spot on the way it's supposed to be. After the front lever lever practice, I moved on to some standing band curls. These felt pretty good today. I was really trying to focus on activating the core, keeping the torso in one position, and just moving about the elbow joint here. I just performed 2 sets of the banded curls today. I'm going to aim to perform 4 sets of bicep isolation on Wednesday and 4 sets of bicep isolation on Saturday. When I say isolation, I basically just mean curls, so I'm not counting the sets of chin-ups. I'd count one set of chin-ups as 40% of a set of curls. I still feel like even though the chin-up does involve the bicep more than the pull-up or the neutral grip chin-up, I still feel like the lats are the prime mover by a large margin. Whereas on the pressing moves, in most compound pressing moves, I feel like the triceps might be performing more than 40% of the work, but it really just depends which variation of which exercise you're talking about. With chin-ups, I think the lats are still the prime mover by a significant margin, and they're performing a greater percentage of the work than the bicep by a large margin. So that's why I don't count chin-ups as a full set of biceps. Even a half set of biceps, it's still mostly a lat exercise. Maybe it counts as some percentage of a set of biceps, but definitely not that much. So if I'm performing 3 sets of chin-ups, maybe that's 1 set for biceps. I'd probably still count it as 3 sets for lats though, but just 1 set for biceps due to the lower percentage force contribution that the biceps are contributing to that exercise. After those curls, I just performed a few sets of banded face pulls. Just stayed standing today since I was already standing. Didn't feel like kneeling down. I'll probably perform these banded face pulls kneeling on the day that I do the tricep pushdowns and just superset it. But if I'm already standing, I'll just stay standing. There's nothing wrong with those. Might be good to alternate between the standing and kneeling variations just to get that variation. Today's workout was a slightly different order of exercises, slightly different organization. I started out with push-ups to warm up, prioritized the planche training a little higher, put it earlier in the workout, and then I moved on to my ring exercises. Then I moved on to the chin-ups and front lever work. And then all I had left was just the isolation movements and smaller exercises. I removed the band tricep pushdown from my Monday workout because I felt like I was getting enough tricep volume from my compound moves. The band tricep pushdown will definitely still appear in some of the days later in the week. I'm not removing it entirely. I was just experimenting with one less exercise today because I felt like my Monday workout was already pretty busy. There was a lot going on. And if one of the days of my week was disproportionately fatiguing, I think it was probably Monday. So I made Monday a little bit milder. I reorganized the order slightly, removed a few sets, and removed one exercise entirely. Hopefully the rest of this week I'll feel a bit more energetic as a result of those adjustments that I made to Monday. Today was Monday, December 27th, day 1 of the weekly workout Roundup training series with Voiceover. Let me know down in the comment section below if you'd like to see me break down the technique on any one of these exercises more in depth, and I can make a dedicated technique breakdown video on just that exercise. I will see you on Wednesday, December 29th for my back day. Don't let anybody stop your gains. Today was Wednesday, primarily a back day with a few chest exercises. I started off with 2 sets of chin-ups. These felt pretty good, moving quick. 2 sets of straddle front levers. These felt pretty good as well. I started from the top position and lowered down into it. Didn't try to raise up, just taking it a bit easier, trying to get in that good quality practice. After that, 2 sets of the advanced tuck front lever. Here, just accumulating volume. The advanced tuck isn't the most impressive thing to look at, but it helps you reinforce that shoulder position, straight arm position, a lot of the things that are going to help you when you move to the more difficult variations. The advanced tuck is still useful for accumulating longer sets in that 15 to 30 second plus range. After that, I performed 2 sets of horizontal body rows on rings. This exercise is pretty straightforward, an exercise for me in the higher rep range, getting some extra back volume, rounding out the 8 sets of back that I did today. Just 2 sets of each exercise, but 4 different movements with a different time under tension for each exercise. So the pull-ups and the straddle front levers being higher tension, higher force producing exercises, the advanced tuck and the horizontal body row being longer duration sets with lower force outputs. After that, I performed 3 sets of regular ring push-ups. These felt pretty good. I mentioned in last week's training roundup that I replaced Wednesday's ring turnout push-ups with normal ring push-ups. I've been liking these a lot. They're a lot less stressful on a rep for rep basis than the rings turnout palm forward ring push-up. They do let you really focus on the mind muscle connection, getting a good quality chest contraction in on each rep. They're useful in a different rep range than the palms forward rings turned out push-up. Neither is better or worse. Each exercise requires a different amount of force to be produced, and the set durations and rep range ranges are going to be unique to each exercise. Neither is better or worse. They're different in terms of force outputs and where you might put it in the training plan. Generally, people can sustain higher volumes of training with easier exercises that are easier on a rep for rep basis. So it's very likely that you could sustain more weekly sets of normal ring push-ups than rings turned out push-ups. After the ring push-ups, I moved on to 2 sets of tuck planche to planche lean drop sets. These felt pretty good. I was a bit tired by this point in the workout, so instead of just doing a more aggressive variation like the advanced tuck, which is aggressive for me right now as far as planche progressions go, I just opted to perform 2 sets of tuck planche to planche lean. The planche lean was pretty aggressive, but this felt pretty good overall. No joint pain, but I feel like I'm accumulating some useful practice here. Let me know down in the comment section below what helped you transition from advanced tuck to straddle. I've been stuck at advanced tuck for a long time. I've been trying out the band assisted straddle planche. I think those are actually pretty helpful. Maybe I'll just try to increase my hold time with the band assisted straddle and gradually move to lighter bands. I do have lighter bands, so that's right now going to be my approach to move from the advanced tuck planche to the straddle. Let me know if you have found a better way aside from just accumulating volume on the tuck and advanced tuck and doing band assist. That seems like the most clear route, maybe just improving general strength, but I know specificity does play a big role with the straight arm skill work as well. After that planche practice, I performed 2 sets of band face pull, dumbbell curl supersets. Face pulls, same as normal. Not too much to say here. If you've been watching my weekly training roundup series, talked a lot about the face pulls. Just pull them towards the face and then pull the hands apart as you close in on the face. And that's going to be the most important thing in terms of getting the most out of these band face pulls. I don't have very heavy dumbbells at home, but I've been rotating between band curls and dumbbell curls because I don't want the band curls to get too stale. If I put them in every workout, they'd run the risk of getting stale, and then I might have to leave them out of my training for a month or more. I might invest in some heavier dumbbells or a bit more weight to put onto my existing adjustable dumbbells, but until I do that, I will just rotate between these lighter dumbbell curls and band curls and just try to use really strict technique when I do the dumbbell curls. That was Wednesday. Not too much to say there. Pretty straightforward. Slight reorganization. About 8 sets of back, 3 sets of chest, plus the planche practice, a few sets of curls, and a few sets of face pulls. This week, I didn't actually get to work out on Friday. I did a lot of manual labor. I basically had to remove a stump from my backyard, and it took a long time, and by the end of it, I had severe muscle soreness of the forearms, so I didn't even have enough motor control to do a workout if I had had the energy to. So I just rested yesterday. It was New Year's Eve. Friday's workout didn't happen, so I condensed it all into one workout. Today is Saturday. The Friday-Saturday workout got combined for this week's weekly training roundup, so that's why it's a bit of a shorter video, but I am still trying to bring you this content because it seems like it's been a popular series and I don't want to let you down. So Saturday, full upper body workout. I got to visit the gym with my friend. I can't say where it is because he kind of snuck me in and it was a bit of a secret and I don't want to get him in trouble, but I did get access to a gym. I tried to perform mostly calisthenics exercises that I can reasonably replicate in some form on my own. I didn't want to do exercises that were too different from things that I could do at home, so I didn't want to use too many machines or benching, stuff like that. I did do a little bit of benching, but it wasn't really like serious benching. It was just more like for fun benching. I started off with 3 sets of pull-ups, not shown on the camera. I didn't have a recording of the pull-ups today. Pretty straightforward, just pull-ups on a bar, no weight added. After that, I got a set of 3 on muscle-ups, shown here. I've never been able to get more than 3 muscle-ups, and these aren't even great muscle-ups. If you look at the video, I'm kind of throwing my legs, using a good deal of momentum there, bent at the hip. If you're holding me to the standards of a calisthenics athlete, these are not good muscle-ups, but they're muscle-ups. I got 3. Take it or leave it. That's all you get. I've never gotten more than 3 muscle-ups. It's unfortunate. We'll see you on the next exercise. Moving on, I performed 1 set of bodyweight push-ups, mostly as a warm-up. After that, I performed 1 set of 5 of push-ups with 90 pounds on my back. Got my bro Skylar here, putting weight on my back. After that, I got 1 set of 1 with 115 pounds on my back. Got my bro Skylar here here, saving my life. This was supposed to be a max rep set. I had no idea how many I'd get. I think my previous PR was 90 pounds on weighted push-ups for a set of 6. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to put 115 pounds on my back. So even though I did do these weighted push-ups today at an intensity that I wouldn't be able to replicate on my own, I still feel like the information is going to be beneficial because I'll be able to use that information I gathered to program in this exercise into my own training at an intensity level that I should be able to self-load onto my own back. Moving on. I didn't get to capture the whole rest of this workout on camera because I didn't bring my tripod. I was trying to maintain a low profile. I only got to record the more important exercises. It was worth the risk. Moving on, the rest of my workout, I tried to model it after exercises that I would be able to reasonably replicate in some form at home. So I performed cable tricep pushdowns, which are supposed to be analogous to the band tricep pushdown that you've often seen me perform at home in these weekly Roundup series. I performed straight arm lat pushdowns with a cable, which is fairly similar to the straight arm band lat pushdown that you've seen me perform at home. And then I performed dumbbell curls, which I do perform at home. And then after that, I performed a few sets of body weight dips, just kind of burnout sets of 20 or so at the end of the workout. I was pretty fatigued, just getting some extra dipping volume in here at the end of the workout. Then after that, I performed some dip bar support to hip raise. This is basically a bar support to a straight leg tuck planche position. So you're basically starting off at the top of a dip position and then keeping the arms locked. You're raising your hips until your hips are level with your shoulders. This exercise is kind of thought to be the most basic planche progression, besides just training dips and push-ups and developing bent arm strength. Performing this support to hip raise exercise trains your abs and your serratus anterior in a way that can lead you to being able to perform a tuck planche. You'd be surprised at how many people actually are unable to press up from support into getting their hips level with the shoulders. A lot of people actually can't do that. This exercise is a good bridge to being able to achieve your tuck planche. And this support to hip raise exercise is actually how I first managed to get the tuck planche. For the week of December 27th through January 1st, it was a bit of a shorter one this week. Wednesday's workout was pretty short, and then I had to condense Friday and Saturday's workout because of general life events and fatigue. Sometimes you can't prevent those things. You just have to adjust your training a bit on the fly to get a similar weekly training volume and keep moving forward. Don't let anybody stop your gains. All right, guys, thank you for coming and watching this week's weekly training roundup. Happy New Year. Remember, don't let anybody stop your gains. A lot of people right now, they're moving inch by inch. They're slowly taking bits of your freedom away. Don't let these people take your freedom. You've got to stand up for what you believe in. Don't let anybody stop your gains. You got to get those gains no matter what it takes. Even if they try to stop you, you've got to get your gains. You heard it here first. It's a new year, 2022. If you're interested in stepping up your fitness, getting more invested in your fitness journey, shoot me a message on Instagram, Ian Pierce Fitness, my website, can'tstopthesegains.com. Schedule a consultation, shoot me a direct message, drop a comment on one of my YouTube videos or Instagram videos. I will get back to you as soon as I see it. If you're interested in online coaching, I can develop you a program, give you macronutrient breakdown. Don't let anybody stop your gains.